I want you to picture a sound, or maybe more the lack of one. You walk onto a factory floor, a massive, sprawling facility, and usually it's just this symphony of chaos. You've got machines clanging, forklifts beeping, conveyors humming. It is the sound of productivity.
Right, it's the sound of money being made.
Exactly. But then, right in the middle of a shift, say 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, silence. The machines power down, the line stops, laptops in the office snap shut.
Oof.
In, 99% of companies, a manager walking into that silence would immediately start hyperventilating. It smells like a disaster, right? A breakdown, a strike.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the traditional management playbook, silence is the enemy. Silence means the cash register has stopped ringing.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Exactly. But in the world we're exploring today, that silence isn't a crisis, it's actually a party.
A party.
And not some unauthorized party, but a deliberate, strategic, operational maneuver. Today, we're going to talk about why stopping the work to celebrate the work might be the single most efficient thing a leader can do.
It sounds completely counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, slowing down to speed up. But as we'll see, it's the fuel that keeps the engine running.
Welcome back to The Deep Dive. We are continuing our journey through the Kaizen Made Easy series, and we are dissecting the book Genba Ikigai, Leading to Serve by Mark Forkin.
We're using the second edition, and we've reached a really pivotal moment in the text.
We really have. We are deep in section 2, which Forkin calls Leading the Tribe. And just to orient you, the listener, because I know we cover a lot of ground, we started this journey with leading self.
Right. That was all about looking in the mirror.
It was. Hansei, self-reflection, humility, integrity. Basically cleaning up your own act before you try to tell others what to do.
You can't lead others until you can lead yourself. It's foundational.
Exactly. And lately we've shifted to leading the tribe. We've talked about visualization, building the team, and in the last deep dive, we covered habit 7, Mendumi.
Which was, remember here treating your team not like assets on a spreadsheet, but like family.
Which leads us perfectly into today. We are tackling habit 8, the habit of celebrating. Okay, I have to be the skeptic for a second here. When I see the habit of celebrating next to things like, just-in-time production or standardized work, it feels a little, fluffy.
Doesn't it?
Is this just about buying a cake once a month so HR gets off your back?
It's funny you say that because that is exactly how most organizations treat it. We hit the quarterly target, here's a branded coffee mug, now get back to work.
Right.
But Forkin argues that if you view celebration as a transaction, I give you a bonus, you give me loyalty, you've already failed. This isn't about the annual Christmas party.
But what is it about then?
It's about something Forkin calls quality touch points, or QTP.
Okay.
It's about the neurochemistry of your team. Think about it this way. Fear and stress, they release cortisol, which literally inhibits the part of the brain responsible for creative problem solving.
Right.
Gratitude releases dopamine and oxytocin, creates psychological safety. So habit 8 isn't fluff. It's a biological necessity for high performance.
Wow, that is a huge distinction. So we're not just being nice, we are actually hacking the brain for better output.
We are.
But let's unpack the how, because I think leaders get paralyzed by the scale of it all. They think celebration needs to be a gala or a retreat or a massive bonus check.
Yeah, because they can't afford that every week. They
don't do anything.
Precisely. It's the all or nothing trap. Forkin's argument is that celebration needs to be a daily practice.
Daily.
Yes, daily. And to do that, you have to redefine the scale. It doesn't need to be material. It can be a smile, a handshake, a sincere thank you, while actually making eye contact.
A shared coffee.
Exactly. It's about frequency, not intensity.
It's like a relationship. Right. A dozen roses on Valentine's Day doesn't make up for ignoring your partner the other 364 days.
That's a perfect analogy.
It's the little moments that build the bond.
That's it. And there's a critical rule Forkin introduces here. He calls it the unconditional rule. This is vital.
Yeah.
You cannot express gratitude as a bribe for future performance. You don't say, great job today, just so they work harder tomorrow.
Right, because people have a finely tuned radar for manipulation. If I buy you lunch because I'm about to ask you to work the weekend, that lunch doesn't taste like gratitude.
Right.
It tastes like leverage.
Exactly. It has to be unconditional.
Yeah.
You do it purely to appreciate what has been done with zero strings attached.
Let's get concrete, because the book Genba Ikigai is famous for its stories from the factory floor, the Gemba. There's one case study in here about pizza and cola that really stuck with me, and I want to dive into it because on the surface, it sounds so trivial. Manager buys pizza. Big deal.
But the context is everything.
It really is.
So we're at a steel tube manufacturer. Now, for those who haven't been in one, this is not a clean, air-conditioned tech office. It's loud. It smells like oil and metal. It's hard, physical work.
And the team there had been working on a 4S project. Maybe you can remind us what that entails. Because in the lean world, 4S isn't just tidying up.
No, not at all. 4S stands for sorting, setting in order, shining, and standardizing.
Shining.
And in a steel warehouse, shining means scrubbing decades of industrial grease off the floors, crawling under racks to clear debris, painting lines on concrete. It is grueling, back-breaking labor. And this team had been grinding at it.
So they're exhausted, covered in grease, probably wondering if management even notices.
Exactly. And the department manager did notice. He didn't wait for the project to be finished. He didn't wait for a quarterly review. He saw the effort.
And he stopped the work.
Immediately. He pulled everyone into the small canteen, which probably wasn't anything fancy, and he bought them pizza and cola.
Just pizza and cola.
That's it. But here's the kicker. The manager later reported this to Forkun, and he had tears in his eyes when he told the story. He said the team was so moved. One worker actually told him he had never tasted cola so good.
That line got me. Never tasted cola so good. Because we know it's the same sugar water you can buy anywhere. But the taste? It was different because of what it represented.
They represented dignity. It represented being seen.
Yeah.
In a lot of industrial environments, and honestly, corporate ones too. You can go years without someone acknowledging your physical effort. That cola tasted like respect.
And for the skeptics listening who are thinking, okay, that's a nice heartwarming story, but we have shareholders to please, let's talk about the ROI, because this wasn't just a fleeting moment, was it?
No, this is the so what of the story. 5 years later.
5 years.
Mark Forkin returns to that facility 5 years later. In most places, a 4S program, it falls apart in 6 months. The clutter comes back.
Oh, for
But here, the warehouse was still spotless. The standards were still being maintained. And the team was still talking about that pizza party.
That is insane. ROI on, what, $50 worth of pizza?
It proves that genuine gratitude, it anchors culture. It builds this reservoir of goodwill. When you treat people like humans, they take ownership of their environment.
But let's play devil's advocate here. Because that story, it had a happy ending. The workers were grateful. But in the real world, you don't always get that reaction. You have the grumps. You have the cynicism. You have the people who say, oh, great, pizza. Why don't you just give me the cash?
Oh, the don't patronize me crowd. They exist in every company. And Forkun addresses this head on with another case study. This one is from an aluminum profile systems painting plant.
Aluminum profile systems painting plant. Say that 5 times fast.
I'll spare you. But picture a massive production line painting metal parts. They had just completed a huge project improving quality and safety, a legitimate win.
A real achievement.
So the production director decides to celebrate. He orders a 35-minute line stop.
Whoa, hold on. 35 minutes in a painting plant? That's serious downtime. That's thousands of dollars in lost production potential. Sales must have been screaming.
Sales was not happy. The pressure was on because they were behind schedule. But the director stopped the line anyway to serve donuts and soft drinks and give a speech thanking the team.
And just like you predicted, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows.
Not at all.
Let me guess. Someone complained about the donuts.
Of course. There were employees grumbling that the money spent on donuts should have been put into their hourly wage. There were managers looking at their watches, stressing about shipment targets. It was awkward.
That is the nightmare scenario for a leader who is trying to be, servant-hearted. You stick your neck out, you stop production, and people complain. The instinct is to say, fine, never again, no more donuts for you.
Exactly. You feel rejected. But the lesson Forkun draws here it's profound. The lesson is celebrate anyway.
Celebrate anyway.
Even if sales is screaming.
Yeah.
Even if there's that one guy in the back muttering about the flavor of the donuts, you have to signal that the effort matters more than the immediate output.
You've proved that you value the people more than the machine.
That's it.
So did it work? Did the celebrate anyway approach actually pay off?
It was a historical turning point for the company. Despite the grumbling, that moment shifted the center of gravity. Over the next 4 years, that company tripled its production facilities.
Wow.
That 35-minute stop didn't slow them down. It was the pause that allowed them to accelerate.
It's interesting. It almost suggests that as a leader, you need a thick skin to be kind.
That's a brilliant way to put it.
You have to be tough enough to insist on gratitude even when the culture fights back against it.
Gratitude is a discipline. It's easy to be grateful when everyone is happy. It's leadership when you insist on gratitude when everyone is stressed.
I want to pivot now to something that I found really technical and honestly a bit mind-bending. Usually we think of celebration as something you do when you win.
Right. You hit the target.
You hit the target, you clean the warehouse, you ship the product. But Forkin connects celebration to Andon and basically suggests we should celebrate failure.
This is where we separate the amateurs from the pros in lean thinking. This connects Habit 8 directly to Habit 15, which is Andon, the practice of stopping the line when a problem occurs.
And for those who might not know the term, Andon is typically a cord or a button on the assembly line, right?
Correct. In the Toyota system, if a worker sees a defect, or even if they just drop a bolt, they pull the cord, the line stops. Music plays. A manager comes running.
Now, in a traditional Western mindset, if I stop the line, I'm the bad guy. I am costing the company money. I'm spotlighting my own mistake.
Right. The instinct is to hide the mistake, fix it quietly, and pray nobody noticed. But in a lean culture, the leader's job is to thank you for pulling the cord.
To thank you. Hey, thanks for shutting down the entire factory.
Thank you for highlighting a problem before it reached the customer. You're celebrating the process of problem solving, not just the result. You're celebrating the transparency.
That requires a massive amount of psychological safety. If I don't trust you, I am not pulling that cord.
And that's the bridge. You can't have Andon without Habit 8. If you haven't built trust through those pizza parties and thank yous, nobody is going to risk exposing a failure to you.
Right.
There's a case study about the Obeya project that captures this beautifully.
I love the story, but first, Obeya. This sounds mystical. What are we looking at here?
Obeya literally means big room. Think of it as a war room. The walls are covered in charts, graphs, timelines. It's where the senior management gathers to track a massive project.
So it's a high-pressure environment.
Eerie.
Okay, so picture the scene. You have the factory manager, the senior brass, all the heavy hitters standing around these boards. The air is just thick with tension.
Exactly. And in the middle of this, a timid voice speaks up. It's a junior team member, a young guy. And he admits in front of all these bosses that he doesn't understand the supply components for the project.
Oh, wow.
He essentially says, I don't know what I'm doing regarding this specific part.
Oof. I can feel the temperature in the room drop just hearing that. In most companies, that's career suicide. The judgment would be instant. Why doesn't he know? Who hired this guy?
The room did tense up. You could feel the judgment forming. But then, the sensei, the expert guide coaching them, intervened immediately. He didn't scold the guy. He looked at him and said, "Good catch."
Good catch.
He thanked him. He celebrated the fact that the young man highlighted a potential failure point now, rather than letting it blow up 3 months down the line.
That is the neurochemistry piece again, isn't it? If the sensei had yelled, the kid's brain would have shut down. But by saying good catch, he flooded the room with safety.
Precisely. The tension evaporated. And more importantly, that timid voice eventually became a leader of that project.
No way.
Because the celebration empowered him. If he had been criticized, he would have stayed silent. The project would have stalled due to missing parts, and it would have been a disaster. Celebration saved the project.
It really redefines the job description of a leader. It's not just to drive the car. It's to make sure everyone in the car feels safe enough to say, hey, I think the engine light is flashing.
That's it. And this is where the integration happens. We talked about Habit 7, member care. You cannot genuinely care for your tribe if you never say thank you.
Right.
And it connects back to Habit 1, self-reflection. You have to ask yourself, did I look for the good today, or was I just hunting for problems?
It's so easy to be a problem hunter. It makes you feel smart. I found the error. But it makes everyone else feel small.
Forkin uses the term human jidoka. Jidoka is automation with a human touch. He says every interaction is a quality touch point.
A quality touch point.
You have the power to energize your team or drain them in seconds. You're either charging their battery or depleting it.
So let's get practical. We always want to leave the listener, the learner, with something they can actually use on a Tuesday afternoon when everything is going wrong. How do we implement Habit 8 without looking fake?
Okay, the first actionable takeaway is the 35-minute stop. Now, it doesn't have to be 35 minutes, and you don't have to stop a factory line.
Right.
But don't be afraid to stop the production, stop the meeting, stop the coding, pause the email chain for a moment of gratitude. It signals that people are more important than the process flow.
And it doesn't have to be donuts or pizza.
No. List your non-material rewards.
Yeah.
A smile. Actually listening when someone talks instead of checking your phone. Asking, how can I help? Saying good catch when someone points out a flaw.
These are free resources.
They're free. Every leader has an unlimited supply, yet we ration them like they're gold bars.
I want to throw a reflection question at the listener, and this one comes straight from the source material. It's a tough one. When was the last time you celebrated a failure?
That is the litmus test. When did you last thank someone for bringing you bad news? If you can't remember, you have some work to do on Habit 8.
Before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, the unconditional rule. There's a parable in the book that I think sums this whole episode up perfectly. The parable of the desert pump.
This is a beautiful image. Imagine you're lost in the desert. You are dying of thirst. You stumble across an old hand pump.
Okay.
Tied to the pump is a bottle of water with a note. Pour this water into the pump to prime it. Do not drink it.
That is the ultimate test of faith. You are thirsty now. You want to drink the bottle now.
Right. You could drink the bottle, survive a few more hours, and then die. Or you can pour that precious water into the pump. You have to give it away. But if you do, the pump primes, and you get unlimited cold water.
Wow.
You can drink all you want and fill the bottle for the next person.
And in this analogy, gratitude is the water in the bottle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dworkin writes, if you rely on financial incentives to elicit Kaizen from employees, you have failed as a leader. Financial incentives are drinking the bottle. It's a quick fix. True engagement unlimited water comes from shared meaning and gratitude. You have to pour the water in first. You have to give the gratitude before you get the performance.
That is such a powerful image to end on. You have to give the water first.
It really is. It shifts the whole paradigm from what can I get from my team to what can I give to my team.
This has been a fascinating look at Habit 8. It's not just party hats and cake. It's the engine of a lean culture. We're moving through the book, and next time we are crossing the threshold into Section 3, leading through problem solving.
That's right. We're getting into the mechanics of it next. Habit 9, the habit of improving flow. It's going to get technical, but as always with Gemba Ikigai, it's deeply human.
If you want to go deeper, definitely subscribe to the Kaizen Made Easy YouTube channel. They have great visuals that go along with these concepts. And of course, pick up Gemba Ikigai Leading to Serve by Mark Forkun on Amazon. It is a dense book, but as we've seen today, it is packed with wisdom. So for today, here's your mission. Find a reason, any reason, to celebrate your team today. Even if it's just a good catch, pour the water into the pump. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
See you next time.